What's going on YouTube? This is Kaz and welcome to the Kingdom Perfumes experience. It's so good to see you guys here again back on my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I look forward to seeing your likes, your comments, and hopefully you'll subscribe by the end of this video if you like what you're about to see. If you guys are returning, so good to have you guys here on my channel again. So today we're going to be doing a mashup of several different, I guess you could say, iterations of the same fragrance. So we're talking about clones of a very popular fragrance, and we're going to be looking at two flankers of that same fragrance right after the intro. Welcome back. So before I get into it, I usually like to start off all of my videos with a quick and simple prayer. For those of you who would like to skip ahead to the beginning of the video, no problem at all. There will be a link in the description below for you. But for those of you staying for the prayer, let's go ahead and start. Heavenly Father, I thank you for my viewers. I thank you for this wonderful shared passion and this platform that we get to kind of share our ideas and express our thoughts over a common interest and a common love. Lord, I just pray that each and every one of my viewers are safe and are safely pursuing their dreams and passions. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, let's get into it. So today we're going to be doing Baccarat Rouges, okay? So we're going to be doing everything Baccarat Rouge 540. We're going to be talking about the Eau de Parfum, the Xrated Parfum, and about 3 other clones, okay? So, and there's actually some fun facts hidden in between these. So the first one we're going to do is the Eau de Parfum. Now I only have samples of these courtesy of Ariel Shoshana. Shout out to Ariel Shoshana. I'll show you guys the little sample card there. So this is my sample of the Eau de Parfum from Baccarat Rouge 540. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put them on strips because, you know, we're talking about clones here. They're all going to smell very similar, so I don't want to put everything on my skin and kind of confuse them. So we'll start with the Eau de Parfum, and yeah, it was really interesting because I realized that not only do we have a sample of the Eau de Parfum and the Xrated Parfum, but we have 3 full bottle clones that you guys will see in a second. You can't see it right now, but it's going to be really exciting stuff, guys. So Baccarat Rouge 540 Eau de Parfum. Now I'm just going to annotate these strips so we don't get them mixed up. Now, the Eau de Parfum came out in 2015. It's a 2015 release, and of course, Maison Francis Kurkdjian is the nose behind this wonderful fragrance that has really caused a global phenomenon. I mean, people everywhere has probably heard whispers of the famous Baccarat Rouge, and I'm sure you watching this right now have heard of Baccarat Rouge as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and dip my tester strip. And let's talk about the Eau de Parfum. Alright, so to my nose, it opens up really nice and fruity. Fragrantica categorizes the Eau de Parfum as a amber floral. And, you know, I can rock with that. It is very floral. I get a really fruity nuance from the Baccarat Rouge DNA. And this is really really smooth, really kind of fruity floral that it opens with. I do get a hint of spice in there. Now, the original DNA has saffron in the opening, okay? So both on the Xrated Parfum and the Eau de Parfum, saffron is listed in both of these fragrances as a top note. And you definitely get a little bit of a kick from the saffron in the top. So that's how the Eau de Parfum opens, okay? Fruity, a nice fruity floral opening. Now the floral nature is from the jasmine. All right, so you're gonna get a little bit of that jasmine in the top. All right, a tiny bit of that spice, and it starts to work its way into the rest of the profile. So I'm gonna put this to the side, and we'll talk about. I'm just gonna go through some of the notes for the Eau de Parfum, and we'll move on to the X-Ray. So what we're gonna get in the Eau de Parfum, we're gonna have some saffron and jasmine in the top, just like I mentioned. In the heart, you're gonna have some amberwood and ambergris. Then you're gonna have some fir resin and cedarwood in the base. And that's pretty much all you have for Baccarat Rouge 540 Eau de Parfum. Now let's keep it going. We will move on to the Xrated Parfum. Here's my sample, again, courtesy of Ariel Shoshana. If you're in the DC, Maryland, or Virginia area, I encourage you guys to check out the Ariel Shoshana store. You have a wonderful selection of niche fragrances, and the staff is very knowledgeable and friendly. All right, so the Xrated Parfum. Now this is a 2017 release, so 2 years after the Eau de Parfum, and Maison Francis Kurkdjian has released his Xrated, also categorized as an amber floral by the good folks at Fragrantica. And now this top note, as it also has saffron, which I told you is a main part of the DNA, it does not have jasmine listed in the top. Let's see if I detect that myself. So you're gonna get still that fruity floral, but I feel like the Xrated is a bit more, a bit smoother, okay? You're still gonna get that fruity floral vibe, but I feel like it's smoothed out. Now let me tell you why it's a little smoother. There is no jasmine listed in the top in the Xrated Parfum. It's bitter almond instead. If you guys know anything about the bitter almond note in fragrances, it tends to give you a really nice, smooth, almost creamy kind of finish. One of my favorite fragrances with bitter almond is it's Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Cologne. It's actually on my list to re-up in that fragrance because it's discontinued, I hear, and the prices are making their way higher and higher and higher. It's a wonderful, creamy orange citrus splash, I call it. Very sophisticated. It's one of my happy fragrances. It puts me in one of the best moods out of all my fragrances. I have a tiny bit left. So there's a bitter almond note in the top of that fragrance, and in the top of this fragrance, that same bitter almond note is there and it has the same effect, okay? So we have saffron, we have a little bit of spice, okay? It's not much, but really you're gonna get that fruity floral nature with the effect of the bitter almond, okay? Really nice. I'm gonna let this dry down as well on the side here. Now, some of the notes in the Xrated Parfum, you're gonna have bitter almond and saffron in the top. In the heart, you're gonna have Egyptian jasmine. So now it's not in the top here, it's in the middle. So it's a little bit different type of a composition that you're gonna get. Egyptian jasmine and cedarwood. And then finally in the base, you're gonna finish it off with ambergris, woody notes, and some musk. That's the Xrated Parfum. All right, guys, now the fun part. We're gonna get into the clones. Now, the first clone we're gonna talk about is Ariana Grande Cloud. So, excuse all the fingerprints here. Let me try to fix it for you guys so you don't see all the reflected fingerprints. It's a glass bottle, so you're gonna have a fingerprint magnet. What are you gonna do, right? Here's the full bottle. This is a 100 ml bottle. Ariana Grande Cloud. All right, and it just rests on a base. It's like a plastic cloud here, but this is really the bottle. All right, simple presentation, but with the cloud, you know, it's a nice touch. I personally like it. Some people might think it's tacky, but hey, you do what you can, right? So Ariana Grande Cloud, tongue twister there. It's a floral, fruity fragrance, according to Fragrantica. And this is a 2018 release. The nose behind this particular fragrance is a gentleman by the name of Clement Gavary. You'll be seeing his picture right now. And as I prepare this strip here, let's go ahead and spray it on. Now, I will say I love when my wife wears Ariana Grande Cloud because it is a kind of a gourmand, like a really sweet, desserty, gourmand take on the Baccarat Rouge DNA. And it's absolutely incredible. If you haven't gotten your nose on Cloud, I highly suggest to go ahead and try it out. It's a nice alternative to the original DNA. It's much more affordable. And without further ado, time to spray it. Okay. I'm gonna put it back in its base, back in the cloud, back in the cloud, iCloud, right? Anyway. Yeah, see, my wife's laughing at my corny jokes in the background. All right, so you're gonna get the funny thing about Ariana Grande Cloud is that the notes are completely different, but it's an amazing clone. Okay, it's just that there's no saffron listed in the entire profile, and no jasmine either. But it literally smells really similar to the either the Eau de Parfum or the X-Ray, either one. But it has a much more brightness in the opening. It's way sweeter, way creamier, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, it opens with some lavender, some pear, and some bergamot. So that lavender bergamot combo is really going to make this this version a little bit more uplifting. And what's listed in the heart is that whipped cream, praline, coconut, and vanilla orchid. Now you can already kind of tell where this fragrance is going, what the direction is. Okay, very sweet, very gourmandy, very edible, and it's, how do I say this? It's like a warm blanket, okay, for your nose. It's like the most delicious, cozy type of fragrance. It's really good, and it rounds off with some musk and woody notes in the base, and that's pretty much your Ariana Grande Cloud. Now notice I didn't mention any saffron or jasmine, and they were still able to replicate the Baccarat Rouge 540 DNA. That's the beauty of perfumery, folks. There's so many different combinations to get the same thing, and even with a different twist. So I'll put Cloud to the side here. The next one we have on the list is Burberry For Her. Fragrantica categorizes this as a floral fruity. Now this is one of the fun facts that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. So, fun fact alert. Now, Burberry For Her, I'll show you guys the bottle really quick. Alright, really nice simple bottle. You'll see Burberry kind of etched in the glass along the bottom. Little gold trimming there. And that's pretty much it. Alright, you can kind of pick it up by the cap. It is sturdy enough to do so. And the cap clicks into place. You got a gold atomizer. Now this Burberry For Her is a 2018 release. And guess who the nose for this fragrance is? None other than Maison Francis Kurkdjian. So yes, folks, that's right. He has created his own fragrance, the Eau de Parfum, and the Xrated Parfum. And he's also created a clone of the same thing in a different brand, a designer brand. Really interesting thing. Now, I've seen this before with perfumer Natalie Lorson, who created Amethyst by Lalique, and also created Perfumes de Marly Meliora, which is pretty much the same thing, just a little bit more sophisticated. Plot twist on that one is that Amethyst came out before Meliora, so it's safe to say that Meliora could be the one that's the clone. But that's a conversation for another day. So let's go ahead and spray Burberry For Her. Now, the atomizer on the Burberry is amazing. It's pressurized, so it just has this nice continuous mist. One of my favorite types of atomizers. Ooh, very floral fruity, and I think it leans much more on the fruity side, even a little tart in some ways. Now, there is jasmine listed in the Burberry. However, there is no saffron listed anywhere in the note breakdown. But what you're gonna get is a nice burst of fruits, okay? Really nice fruits in the top. Mostly types of berries, okay? You're gonna get that berry fruitiness and a lot of nice raspberry, strawberry, cherry, I believe. And the jasmine comes a little bit later. I can't get to it yet in the opening. I'm not really getting the jasmine yet. But the fruits are really nice in the beginning, okay? That amber, floral, fruity that we've talked about through these past fragrances is very present in the Burberry For Her. And I feel like it's probably the juiciest thus far. And when I say juicy, I mean it's the most fruit leaning of all of these, okay? Obviously the original is the original. All of these come from that. But if you want like the fruitiest take on the Baccarat Rouge 540 DNA, I would definitely recommend to go with the Burberry For Her, okay? Now, side note on this one is that it does not last that long, but you're gonna get a decent amount of performance from it. You know, you can just take a little decant with you or reapply later or something like that. But yeah, a really good DNA here, really good take on the Baccarat Rouge DNA. If you want to go a little bit more gourmand, go ahead and pick up your Ariana Grande Cloud. Now, last but not least, there's many Baccarat Rouge clones out there, and this one is actually a favorite of mine because I believe that it is the male, okay, or a more masculine take on the Baccarat Rouge DNA. And try not to leave any fingerprints. This is none other than the Instant Crush by Mancera. Now, you guys have probably heard of Instant Crush by many reviewers, and it's a wonderful fragrance. I love the presentation. Look at that, just a beautiful gold bottle all the way around. It's like a gradient actually. It's gold from the top and gets to a clear glass, but the juice is also kind of yellow, so it looks like the whole thing is gold. Magnetic cap, as usual. And if you're familiar with Mancera fragrances, their atomizers are among some of the best. Now, I'm not going to show you that on the camera just because I've been spraying all of these and I don't want to overshadow the strips I have on the table. So I'm going to spray away from the camera here. All right. Man, you know when you haven't worn a fragrance in a while, or you're waiting for fall to come up, now fall is finally here and you're just excited to bring out some of those heavier fragrances. That's the feeling I get with Instant Crush, man. I just forgot how much I enjoy this fragrance, and I just got reminded here on camera. So Instant Crush by Mancera, amber floral fragrance as categorized by the good folks at Fragrantica, 2019 release. And with Instant Crush, you're gonna get a much heavier dose of saffron, okay? Like I mentioned, it is the more masculine leaning of all of these, so it's a little heavier, all right? A little bit more in your face. It's not as fruity per se. So I would say it's a little bit more oriental, more of an oriental take, a spicier take on the Baccarat Rouge DNA. Yeah, really nice. And I think a lot of women can enjoy this fragrance as well because it is well-rounded enough and it has enough floral aspects to appeal to more feminine taste. And I think it has a good amount of spices and woods just to make this you know, a masculine appealing fragrance as well. So it can be perfectly unisex, but I think it's a more masculine approach to the DNA. So what are we gonna have in the top? We're gonna have some saffron, that same saffron that's present through almost all of these. You're gonna have ginger, Sicilian mandarin, Sicilian bergamot. In the heart, you're gonna have some amberwood, Moroccan rose, Egyptian jasmine, Indonesian patchouli, patchouli leaf, Madagascan vanilla, sandalwood, white musk, and oak moss. So, quick correction, the Madagascan vanilla, sandalwood, white musk, and oak moss, that's actually in the base. So, patchouli leaf is where the heart kind of stops at. And yeah, I really enjoy how Instant Crush just opens up, and I think a lot of the rose and the jasmine, the patchouli leaf, that kind of gives it like a really kind of like a soft but like grounded heart. Okay, the patchouli leaf gives it like a depth to it, and the vanilla is what carries that sweetness into the base. That you get to that vanilla, that sandalwood. I mean, it's a really kind of spicy but creamy, floral, fruity fragrance. Instant Crush is an experience, and I think everyone should get their nose on it and try it. Now, just to double back really quick, Burberry For Her, some of the notes that I forgot to mention. You're gonna have strawberry, raspberry, blackberry, sour cherry, black currant, mandarin orange, and lemon in the top. So if you recall, I mentioned that this was the most fruity out of all of these, okay? And you can kind of see why I said that. You're gonna have some violet and jasmine in the heart. Then you're gonna have some musk, some vanilla, some cashmere, oak moss, woody notes, amber, and patchouli to round this guy off. All right, so back to Instant Crush. I think it's a wonderful take on the Baccarat Rouge 540 DNA, and definitely try it out. So we're gonna go back to the beginning and see how all of these are kind of drying down. I'll tell you which one's my I guess my second favorite, okay, because Instant Crush is my favorite. Just you know, I like the masculine touch. And I'll pick a second favorite, and then we'll close out. So we'll go back to the EDP. Let's see how it's developed. Yeah, so the EDP is getting it's mellowing out now, right? And it's doing that really airy thing that Baccarat Rouge does. Now, when I first smelled the DNA, I wasn't crazy about it. It felt kind of there, but also transparent at the same time. And the EDP is starting to get a little bit more transparent. And I do like it, okay? It's simple, it's not complex. And it's just, it's the same, that same DNA, the fruit, the amber fruitiness, it's there, but it's just a little bit more transparent now. And yeah, not a huge change since I've started talking here. We'll go to the Xrated and see how that's developed. The Xrated has a little bit more body to it, okay? It has a little bit more of a punch. I think some of the spices that's shown in the Xrated are starting to come out. So I know the jasmine, the Egyptian jasmine and the saffron, I feel like are hyped up maybe a little bit more in the Xrated. And the bitter almond definitely brings it brings some really enjoyable nuances to this profile. Yeah, I feel like the Xrated is the smoothest, you know, it's the most polished, it's the most refined between the original. We'll go to Cloud, our gourmand take. Show you the bottle again. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Guys, Cloud is fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, I'm getting just like, you're getting the praline, you're getting the whipped cream, I'm getting some of the coconut right now. The vanilla is starting to, the vanilla orchid is starting to really just do its thing. Oh, it's really delicious. It's really delicious. Yeah, so Cloud is really starting to go into the super gourmand direction right now, and all while still maintaining the original Baccarat Rouge DNA. I'm kind of liking that one the most so far in terms of my second pick. Let's check out the Burberry here. Yeah, it's just getting a little bit more fruitier, and it's starting to mellow out a little bit. The fruits are just developing a little bit more. And I do smell a little bit of the violet. It kind of, it's a really nice gateway coming from those top fruity notes going into the base. The base of, you know, some musk, some vanilla, some oak moss. It's got a lot of different things going on in the base. But I can kind of smell how it's making that transition right now. Really cool. Really cool. Instant Crush. Also mellowing out those spices that hit you in the initial opening. And by the way, the ginger that I mentioned in Instant Crush, that's what's adding to a lot of the spiciness and the zinginess upon the opening, okay? It kind of boosts the saffron in a way. But all that's starting to die down a little bit. The rose is starting to shine a little bit more. The jasmine is starting to do its thing a little bit more. And the vanilla and the sandalwood is a great touch. Ooh, man. All right. So, Instant Crush, you already know it's my favorite. I already said that. If I had to pick a number 2 of my favorite Baccarat Rouge DNA, it'll have to be probably Cloud. And the funny thing is, I don't see myself wearing Cloud, just because I think it's a bit sweet for my taste to wear it for myself. But I love how it smells, and I definitely love how it smells my wife. So there you have it, folks. These are Baccarat Rouge 540s. You have the original Eau de Parfum, Xrated Parfum, and 3 awesome clones. I'll show you guys the bottle one more time. Instant Crush, bam. Burberry For Her, bam. And lastly, our Ariana Grande Cloud, bam. And that's all we have, folks. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you like Baccarat Rouge 540, which concentration level you like, or whatever your favorite flanker or clone of the Baccarat Rouge 540 DNA is. Until next time, it's been a blast, and I'll see you guys another day. Take care. Peace.